Hey guys, welcome back to Based MMA. You're gonna be seeing my face more often in these videos, guys. I kind of want to show my face a little bit more, not because I think I'm handsome or anything, but just because I think I engage better. I think I speak better too when I'm actually on camera. So I'm gonna be doing more of this. When it comes to the UFC right now, guys, there hasn't been a lot of news, but there's a couple of things that I wanted to discuss that were on the news when it comes to MMA. The first story that I'm going to talk about is going to be about Khamzat Chimaev, showing that he's been extremely ill in his time off away from the cage. The second news is going to be Dariush, rumored to fight Benoit Saint Denis for March 30th, UFC Atlanta City. So I'm going to be talking about these two things, but it's going to be very passionate because I have a lot of things to say. But I'm going to start off with the story that I'm sure you guys care about more. Khamzat Chimaev shares photos of him being extremely ill on Instagram. And right after, he actually went out and deleted the pictures, which is interesting, right? Because I thought he was going to keep them up. But once he posted those pictures, obviously people already screenshotted and started sharing on Twitter and Instagram. And, once you post something online, you can never delete it. It's going to be online forever, especially when you're a big superstar or an MMA fighter like Khamzat Chimaev. But these photos, guys, were pretty revealing. I mean, it looked like Khamzat Chimaev has been dealing with an illness. He didn't specify what, but his body, he looks like he's having an allergic reaction to something. And we had heard, I'm not going to say the name. I'm just going to say code CO. CO stands for whatever we were dealing in the pandemic, because I don't want to say the actual word, but if you're smart enough, you know what I'm saying. Co, we know that he had a very hard experience with Co. I mean, actually, this feels weird now. It feels weird now saying Co, but Co, you know what? I'm not going to say Co. I'm just going to say Vid. He had a bad experience with Vid. We saw that he actually struggled. He lost a lot of weight. And his body just hasn't been the same since he caught the vid. This is so weird. I'm going to keep it in. I think this is good. We know his body hasn't been the same since he caught the vid. And it seems like he still might be struggling. Like his body still might not be the same. And I know a lot of people, and I'm going to speak for myself, after I got hit with the vid, my body hasn't been the same. Even when I work out, I feel like my endurance is not the same. It's taken a little bit of while for me to be able to recover. And maybe I'm not saying that mine is the same as Khamzat Chimaev because I don't know exactly what he's dealing with, but it seems like he's at least similar in the sense that he's probably dealing with some effects from the vid that his body still hasn't been able to recover. And maybe that has been a reason why he hasn't been fighting. I still think there's other reasons besides the fact that he's been sick on why he hasn't been fighting. But obviously that does play a huge factor because if you're not able to feel healthy, if you're not able to train correctly, you're not going to go back into a fight. You know what I'm saying? But I also know he's been dealing with visa issues. But these pictures, man, they look pretty bad. They look pretty bad. And this makes a lot of sense, guys, because even before that, Kamaru Usman, I guess the Paulo Costa, because he was supposed to fight Paulo Costa at UFC 294, I felt like there was something off about Khamzat Chimaev. I even felt like maybe he's not that hungry anymore. Maybe he doesn't care about the UFC anymore because he just didn't have that same hunger. I want to smash everyone. Like he always saying, this passion. I just felt like it was kind of lacking with Khamzat Chimaev. And I did think at the time that it was probably because he was dealing with so many things outside of the cage. I kind of attributed that to the fact that he had visa issues and he probably couldn't fight out of the country. But now that we learned that he had been dealing with health issues, it makes a lot of sense why Khamzat Chimaev has kind of been acting the way he has and the reason why his career has been managed the way it is. And it's really unfortunate, man. I really do hope that Khamzat Chimaev is able to recover. Even though I do think his stock dropped after the Kamaru Usman fight, I do want Khamzat Chimaev to reach his full potential. And I don't know if he is. I mean, he could still reach his full potential, but maybe he's still dealing with some health issues. Like I said, I don't know what he's dealing with based on those pictures. It looks like an allergic reaction. His eye looks all bloodied. His body looks really nasty. But I mean, he says that this was before the Kamaru Usman fight, so I hope he's not dealing with any of this stuff anymore. But he might be. That's a real possibility. His cardio might never be the same, and it could be why he also struggled to make 170, even though I do think that the UFC planned that, and I do have a little bit of a conspiracy about UFC 279. I think Khamzat Chimaev has been dealing with some health issues, and it's really unfortunate because like I said, I still think this guy has a lot of potential. One of the greatest talents that has ever come into the UFC. I mean, he fought in 2 weight classes back to back, put incredible performances, look incredibly dominant. His grappling is incredible. And then in this Kamaru Usman fight, his hype dropped because, you know, he actually had a full training camp. He was fighting a Kamaru Usman on short notice, and he wasn't really able to beat Kamaru Usman and make a definitive statement besides that dominant first round. But now all of these things kind of make sense. And like I said, it's kind of tragic. It's sad, honestly. It honestly makes me sad because even though I'm not like the biggest Khamzat Chimaev fan, I still want this guy to reach his full potential. And it sucks. I know it must suck to be, you know, so invested in a sport, training so hard to be the champion, and you're dealing with health issues that are kind of out of your control. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks for Khamzat Chimaev. I hope he recovers. Like I said, he deleted these pictures. He probably didn't like the narrative around them. The fact that people are saying, oh, look how he looks. You know what I'm saying? He's never going to be champion, stuff like that. But I hope Khamzat Chimaev is able to recover. I hope he stays healthy, both physically and mentally, because if he's dealing with a lot of stress with visa issues and all that stuff, that's going to affect his physical recovery. That's going to affect his health and the way he performs in the cage. So I just kind of wanted to discuss that, even though I know that maybe some of you guys don't think it's that important. I still want to talk about Khamzat Chimaev because the fact that he's been dealing with these health issues definitely changes my perspective on the whole situation and his whole career. And like I said, I really hope he's able to recover. Because at the end of the day, fighting is awesome. He gets paid. I'm sure this is his love, but first and foremost is your health. You know what I'm saying? You always have to take care of your health. You got to make sure you're healthy. And when you're putting the kind of stress that this guy's putting on his body to get in shape, to get ready for a fight, you know, maybe his body's not ready. Maybe he does need this time off. Like I said, I don't know what he was dealing with in those pictures, but it doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look good. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about Khamzat Chimaev dealing with these issues. Now, let's move on to the next story. Dariush. Benio Dariush has accepted, it's a rumor right now, hasn't been official, has accepted a 5-round main event fight against Benoit Saint Denis for UFC Atlanta City. Dariush, we need to talk. I know I'm not a fighter, and I know I'm in no place to tell anybody to retire. But, Benio Dariush, you're too much of a BMF for your own good. You're coming off 2 knockout losses, brutally, in the first round. Not competitive fights whatsoever. And you're going to fight a killer like Benoit Saint Denis, where it doesn't even make sense for Benio Dariush in the rankings. Why are you taking this fight? Benoit Saint Denis should fight somebody else. And also, Dariush, you got knocked out 2 months ago. No, last month. Why are you going to fight in March? You got knocked out in like the first 2 minutes. Dariush is on a mission. What is he doing? The UFC, don't let this fight happen. I don't want to see Benoit Saint Denis versus Benio Dariush, because even if Benoit Saint Denis goes and knocks out Benio Dariush, it's not as meaningful anymore because Benio Dariush is coming off 2 knockout losses in the first round. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the argument that people say, well, look, Arman knocked out Benio Dariush faster than Charles Oliveira, therefore Arman should get a title shot. That's not how it works, because when Charles Oliveira fought Benio Dariush was like on a 9-8 fight win streak. And that's the guy that Charles Oliveira knocked out. Now, the guy that Arman knocked out was a guy that was coming off a knockout loss. And that's very important because fighters are only as good as their last fight. And Benio Dariush is coming off 2 knockout losses. And even though I do want to see Benoit Saint Denis move up in the rankings, it just makes no sense. It makes no sense, in my opinion. I don't want to see this fight. Make Benoit Saint Denis versus Jalen Turner, a Fiziev, somebody else, more exciting matchup. Benio Dariush shouldn't even be fighting until maybe a year from now. Like, I'm not saying he should retire, but I don't think this guy's clearly not top 5 lightweight or even actually, he might be top 10 lightweight, but I don't think he's at the top of the division. And then to take such a killer that is so far away in the rankings, it just makes no sense for Beneil Dariush. I understand why Benoit Saint Denis would take the fight. I mean, I feel like it's the easiest fight you can take of somebody so highly ranked. So I understand why Benoit Saint Denis would take the fight. But based on this rumor, it seems like Beneil Dariush is the one that's accepted first. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? It makes no sense. I don't want to see it, guys. I don't want to see it. I want to see Benoit Saint Denis fight somebody else, and Dariush should take some time off because he's coming off 2 knockout losses. He shouldn't be returning this quickly. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, he's lost a step. Clearly, he's at a speed disadvantage compared to these guys. He should take some time off. And like I said, I'm not going to tell a guy to retire in case besides if you're Tony Ferguson. But Dariush, no. Don't take this fight. Please don't take this fight. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to discuss this rumor. I feel like it's going to end up happening. But as for right now, it's a rumor. We need to tell Beneil Dariush not to take this fight. Please don't take it. I like Dariush. He's a great person. He's a great Christian. He's also a good fighter. But he should not be fighting this type of fight so soon after getting knocked out. Anyway, guys, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.